friends, my name is Sarah and today I'm going to be doing the Booktube Newbie tag. I've done a few review videos on my channel so far, but nothing to introduce myself. I've never done any tags before, so I thought just to switch it up and try to get my feet wet into doing videos other than just reviews, I would go ahead and do just the basic Booktube Newbie tag. And I have the questions right here. So I'm just gonna go down the list and maybe you can get to know me a little bit better as a booktuber. So the first question is, why did you start this channel? Obviously because I like to read, but I'd say really I started the channel because I discovered Goodreads a couple years ago and I've kind of been using it as a way to keep track of the books that I've read, and also I wanted to get better at articulating my thoughts and feelings and opinions about books that I've been reading. So when I started writing reviews on Goodreads, I just found that I just had a really good time really forcing myself to think about why I thought a book was good or why I thought a book was bad. And I was like, well, I took this step to write down my thoughts and articulate them in an articulate way, so I think it would be fun to put my thoughts on YouTube as well. So that's basically why I started my Booktube channel. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? So I haven't really thought too hard about these questions. So, I mean, everyone wants to be unique, right? No one wants to be boring and the same as everyone else. I think maybe a lot of booktubers do this and I just haven't seen it yet. I think maybe something unique that I can bring is that I like to review a lot of older books as well. Old is relative, how old is old? But like my second review on this channel was for The Gods Themselves by Isaac Asimov, and that came out in like 1970 something. So that's a really old book, and you know, I'm not sure how many people are interested in seeing reviews of older books, but of course everyone wants to be in the know about the newest stuff, but I think that it'd be kind of fun to give some love to older books and maybe books that people have heard of a long time ago and just kind of never got around to it. So maybe my reviews could convince someone to pick up a book that's older that they might have kind of forgot about in the past. So I guess that's something that I might be able to contribute, that I want to contribute. What are you most excited for about this new channel? I'm just excited about all of it. I just like to talk about books. I want to be engaged with the booktube community and talk about books with them, and I've just always been a creative person, so I'm hoping that I can get better about editing videos, get more equipment. I'm literally using a cheap tripod from Amazon and my iPhone. I'm using like iMovie to edit things, so I'm like, it's like the most basic YouTubing that I can do, and I'm kind of excited to look into getting a camera or a ring light or, you know, more equipment to really boost my videos up to the next level, and I think that that'll be a really fun learning process and a fun creative outlet. Why do you love reading? I generally read for escapism and entertainment, so I prefer fantasy. Fantasy is my favorite genre. I just like being able to leave the real world behind, and I have such an overactive imagination, so reading just really lets me pour that imagination into a structure that exists already that I can think about and daydream while I'm off doing other things. I just like the escapism of it. I love magic. I love fantastic things going on because life can just, it can be exciting, of course, and fun, but life can be pretty boring and mundane and just, you know, when you're not on vacation doing fun stuff. So I just like that reading provides something fantastic for just anyone to be able to dive into. What book or series got you into reading? I don't know if I can answer that. I've loved to read since I could read. So I think there are a couple, I guess, that might have been sort of the gateway into obsessive reading. Harry Potter is probably it, but also the Pendragon series. If anyone has read that series, please let me know. It was, I mean, for me, it was up there with Harry Potter. I loved the Pendragon series. I loved Bobby Pendragon. I just loved the idea of going to different worlds. Like, he's a dude from our normal world, but he goes off into fantastic worlds, and it was just like, oh my gosh, that's what I want in my life. So probably those two series got me into reading the most. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? So I'd probably ask, at this point, kind of specifics about their setup. Like, what kind of camera do you use? What kind of lighting? What's the best program, cheapest program to use? I think at this point, I have a full-time job. So this is just, Booktube is just for fun. So I'd have to think about what kind of questions in terms of how to grow my YouTube channel, because I don't want it to become something unmanageable. And it sounds like I'm sabotaging myself here saying I don't want to grow. That's like, that sounds really bad. Like, I do want to grow, and I want to have an audience that enjoys my content. But I think, at this moment I would ask them the best way to make my videos look nice, because I think a lot of higher viewed channels are the ones that have high production quality, good quality audio and video. It doesn't have to be super fancy, but I think maybe more than my setup would kind of help me make higher quality videos. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Probably growing my audience. I'm not really sure how to do that. I know the YouTube algorithm is something that gives everyone headaches, and everyone's trying to figure out ways to get their content out there so that it's not lost among everything that's going on. So I think that's the biggest challenge, will be how to get my videos out there in the world. And if you have any advice, please let me know, and I'll do my best to kind of implement that. Because I want to have my own little community. I want to be able to talk with people about books and share my thoughts on my love for books as well. When did you start reading? Really young. Ever since I've learned how to read in school, I've been reading. My parents would read to me, and I would read with my parents. We would, sit on the couch and have a book together, and we'd be reading together. So, I mean, I've been reading ever since I can remember. Where do you read? Mostly at home, on the couch. I do, when it's nice out, I like to go to the park and get a blanket or a chair and read there. I do have opportunities to read where I work, because I do some technical support stuff that requires me to be in one place for sometimes a whole day, but I'm not necessarily constantly engaged doing things. So I have brief moments where I'm just standing by, making sure everything's going well. So I have moments where I can snatch reading, so I can do that as well. And lastly, what kind of books do you like to read? So I kind of answered that at the very start. Fantasy is my all-time favorite genre. I do like science fiction, maybe not super hard science fiction. Like, I read The Gods Themselves, and the technical aspects were not really interesting, but the alien section was. So I think I'm more interested in the action portions of sci-fi, not so much the actual hard science bits of it. With Booktube, with my kind of introduction into the community, watching videos about non-fantasy and science fiction books, and with a local book club that I started with my friends, I've been exposed to other genres as well that I had never given a chance before. So I've started reading some contemporaries, kind of mysteries. I want to try and read maybe more kind of mystery thrillers, but I'd say my favorite genres are definitely fantasy and like light sci-fi. So I think that was it. I think that's all the questions. Yeah. So that was just kind of the Booktube Newbie tag. I hope you got to know me a little bit better and kind of my thoughts on this channel. And people change and grow, so who knows, some of these things might change when I'm no longer a newbie. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you check out my other videos. I currently have, at the time of recording this, I have just reviews of videos, but I'm hoping to maybe try and do hauls and, maybe book challenges. It's October, so I might have tried to do like some Spooktober, reading challenges and stuff, but at the moment I'm just trying to get into a rhythm of how I want to record and upload videos, the books, kind of trying to line up books that I want to read, going through old books that I've had for years, as well as wanting to read newer books that I've been getting because of Booktube recommendations. So anyway, again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!